I finally got to see another 2015 movie that never came to our theaters but was on Netflix, and I finally got to watching it, and I really liked it. So Phoenix is a foreign film. It's a German film. It is mostly in German, so you will have to read subtitles if you see it. But in my area, it is in Netflix, so go ahead and check it out if you're in the US or maybe the Midwest. I don't know if it has different regions of the US having different shows. But anyway, Phoenix is set after World War II. There's a woman who has survived the Holocaust, but unfortunately it left her face very disfigured. She has to undergo facial reconstruction and unfortunately looks like someone completely different. So not only is she struggling with the fact that many of her family members are now dead, she's also struggling with the fact that she looks like a totally different person and she feels like she has died herself. She's trying to cling to the person she used to be by trying to find her husband. But when she finally finds her husband, which is about 1/3 through the movie, he doesn't recognize her. But upon seeing her, he comes up with a plan. He brings her in and says, "Look, you're close enough to be my wife, and she's dead. She has this big inheritance, so how about you pretend to be my wife? I'll teach you how to be her, teach her her handwriting and all that stuff. You pretend to be her so that you get the inheritance and then we can split it 50-50. All without realizing this is actually his wife." Wow. So Phoenix is a really good foreign film. I think it's wonderfully acted by both main characters and very subtly as well. So I feel it's wonderfully done in that aspect. And I feel it's quite entertaining. It's definitely a new type of post-Holocaust movie. I think the ending might bug people, but I thought it was a really good ending. To be honest, there isn't a lot of bad things I can say about Phoenix. Now, it can definitely be slow to some people, and I can understand that. Not a lot really happens. It's more about these characters getting together and trying to make her into the woman she used to be without him knowing that she really is his wife. And it's also about her trying to discover whether or not he had betrayed her to the Germans. But the drama is there very subtly, and I can understand people missing it to a point where they feel like it's one of the more boring movies of the year, but I enjoyed it. Now, this is not the movie's fault, but it did remind me a little bit of Goodbye Mommy because of the facial reconstruction and the bandages over her face, even the robe she wore. It reminded me a little too much of Goodnight Mama, and that kind of irked me a little bit, even though it's not the movie's fault, and I'm not going to blame the movie for that. But I feel there's something in it that is keeping it from being a really, really great, phenomenal movie for me, and I can't quite place it and can't figure it out. This is almost a 4-star movie for me, but just not quite, so it's more of a 3 3/4. But it is closer to 4 stars, so ultimately I'm going to give Phoenix 4 stars. So have you seen Phoenix? What did you think about it? Go ahead and comment. If not, what is your favorite Holocaust or post-Holocaust movie? As always, this is Bruce Gifford, and this was Just My Opinion.